Good afternoon, dear students. Previous session, we started to learn about guiding values of our constitution. Guiding values of our constitution. In that, we learned about the dream and the promise. The dream and the promise, especially the dream of an India that has. And here, in this concept, so there were difference of opinion also among the national leaders. So for example, already we discussed about the difference of opinion. Just one example I would like to mention. That's about between Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and then Mahatma Gandhi. So, regarding the abolition of social inequalities in our country, so both these leaders, so they are having their own dream and notion and the vision. So their vision about the abolition of inequality in Indian society, it's so different. Of course, Gandhiji was also tried to abolish social inequalities, especially the caste-based inequalities, and the same, the another great personality, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So he was also tried, and even he was raised a great voice against the caste-based inequalities, and even he was organized, especially the depressed class people, and he was really finally became a successful also in that moment. And we learned about philosophy of the constitution also. So the values that inspired and guided the freedom struggle and were in turn nurtured by it. So actually this is what formed foundation for Indian democracy. See, these values are embedded in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. So they guide all the articles of the Indian Constitution. See, the Constitution began with a short statement of its basic values. The Constitution of India. So it is begun with a short statement of its basic values. So this which we used to call as a preamble to the Constitution. See, taking inspiration from American model, so most countries in the contemporary world have chosen to begin their constitution with a preamble. Now, I would like to read the preamble of the Constitution of USA or United States of America. A very few lines. Then already in the previous class I told about the preamble is like a summary of the Constitution. If we read the preamble of that respective country's constitution, then we are able to gain some of the knowledge and we can come to conclude so this constitution is like this. Because that is what the summary. That shows that the headline or the preamble. So let us read the preamble of the US Constitution. Just please. We the people of the United States, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this constitution for the United States of America. See, within this few line, the entire constitution It was explained in this preamble itself. I hope, dear students, so you are able to understand this. And the same, our Indian Constitution preamble also. It's a really the very beautiful one. The preamble of the Constitutions reads like a poem on democracy. Reads like a poem on democracy. See, it contains the philosophy on which the entire constitution has been built. So, the preamble of the Indian constitution contains the philosophy on which the entire constitution has been built. So, it provides a standard to examine and evaluate any law and action of government. It provides a standard to examine and evaluate any law and action of government to find out whether it is good or bad. To find out whether it is good or bad. So, that's what, dear students, the preamble of the Indian Constitution, it is called and it is considered as the soul of the Indian Constitution. The soul of the Indian Constitution, then you may understand about the significance of the importance of the and the vision that is about the entire constitution of our Indian Constitution. So, the preamble to the Indian Constitution, it is the soul of the Indian Constitution. Now, I would like to read the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Why we are giving this much of importance? What are the contents or the contents is really use. We cannot explain in few words even the entire constitutions reflected in the form of preamble. So that's what the scholars, so they used to say about the preamble is the soul of the constitution. Now I would like to read that. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all, fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. See how it's beautiful. So, in our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November, which we are celebrating as the Indian Constitution Day. So, it was actually accepted in 1949. See, do hereby. So, actually, it is even very clearly mentioned in the preamble. In our Constituent Assembly, this is the 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this constitution. So, what a beautiful lines. See, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, supreme, the socialist, and even the secular and democratic republic. See, what a nice concept. And also, dear students, they mentioned very clearly that is about to secure to all its citizens what and all justice. It is including social, economic, and political justice. Social justice and economic justice and political justice. And also liberty. What kind of a liberty are? Liberty of thought, liberty of expression, liberty of belief, liberty of faith and worship. All Indians they are very free. And also equality. See, equality of status and of opportunity, equal status and equal opportunities, and to promote among them all also this equality and fraternity. What a beautiful concept, fraternity. So, this fraternity assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. So, the fraternity assure the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Such a beautiful lines composed by our constitution makers. So that's what I told that. So the preamble of the constitution reads like a poem on democracy. It is like a poem on democracy. So how nicely the next lines in our Constituent Assembly this 26th day of November 1949 do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this constitution. So it reads like a poem of on democracy. So then we came to know that what a wonderful constitution we are having. We the people of India. See, the constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representatives and not handed down to them by a king or any outside powers. So it was drawn by the entire the people through their representatives. It is completely not handed down to them by a king or any outside powers. It was prepared by our people, our representatives. See, sovereign, supreme. So people have supreme right to make decisions on internal as well as external matters. So no external powers, any outside powers can dictate the government of India. So no external powers can dictate the government of India. The government of India is the superior one and it is the supreme one to take any decision whether it's an internal decision or external decision. Socialist. What a beautiful concept. See, wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by the society. The entire wealth of the nation. So government should regulate the ownership of land, industry to reduce socio-economic inequalities. This is what one of the socialist country. And secular. See here, citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion. So Indians are very free to follow any religion. If suppose if they're born as a Hindu, you can follow any other culture. You can follow any other religion. That's left to them. So they are very free and also India not promoted any religion as a state religion. So that's what India is used to call as a secular state. India, it is one of the secular state. So there is no any special provision for any religion, whether the major or the lesser numerically. And the people, they are very free to follow any religion also. Being a Hindu, they can follow Christian or they can follow the Islam religious or Sikh, any religion of the world. So there is no any force to follow. So citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion, but there is no official religion also in our country. So government treats all religious beliefs and practices with equal respect. So dear students, so in a preamble, how beautifully they are mentioned, and so I just not told that secular state. So Indian state is a secular state. So citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion. There is no any restrictions to follow. They can follow, they can propagate, they can foster any religion. But there is no official religion in the state. The government of India not declared or not given any special provision to any religion also. So the government treats all religious beliefs and practices with equal respect. Now, we all of you knows that India it is one of the democratic state. It is one of the democratic state. See, a form of government where people enjoy equal political rights and elect their rulers and hold them accountable. That democratic government. The government is run according to some basic rules. The government is run according to some basic rules. There is the limitation of the power also. And we know that as a republic, India it is one of the republic state. The head of the state is an elected person and not a hereditary position. The head of the state, the head of the government, so is an elected person and not a hereditary position. And justice, see, citizens cannot be discriminated on the grounds of caste, religion, and gender. Social inequalities have to be reduced. Government should work for the welfare of all, especially of the disadvantaged groups. Which are the groups disadvantaged, and which are the groups lagging behind economically, socially, politically, and which are the groups where they were not getting equal opportunities, equal social status. The government should work for that, and liberty. See, there are no unreasonable restrictions on the citizens in what they think, how they wish to express their thoughts, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts in action. They have very liberal and equality. See, all are equal before the law. Everyone. So the president of the country or a common man, they are all equal. The traditional social inequalities have to be ended. The government should ensure equal opportunity for entire its citizens. And at last, that the beautiful concept that is about the fraternity. See, all of us should behave as if we are members of the same family as a brothers and sisters. What a beautiful concept, because India is one of the diverse country where we can see that different language speaker, different traditional, different socio group, different religious group, different economics status, and the variety of the culture, tradition, and so on and so things. So here, even though all of us should behave as if we are members of the same family, no one should treat a fellow citizen as inferior. So this is one of the beautiful concept which was adapted and it was mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution. That is about the fraternity. I hope, dear students, so you all are able to understand all these the contents which are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution, and by studying the preamble of the preamble to the Constitution, so we can get a lot of idea about our Constitution and up its great one. And now let us discuss about institutional design. See, a constitution is not merely a statement of values and philosophy. As we noted above, a constitution is mainly about embodying these values into institutional arrangements. So much of the documents called the Constitution of India is about these arrangements. So it is a very long and a detailed document. So it is very long and a detailed document. So therefore it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. So those who crafted the Indian Constitution, so they were felt that it has to be in accordance with the people's aspirations and changes in society. They did not see it as a sacred or static and unalterable law. So they made provisions to incorporate changes from time to time. So these changes are called constitutional amendments. According to time, according to situation, according to need, we can bring or we can pass or we can go through the amendments. So the constitution describes the institutional arrangements in a very legal language. Understood now? So it can be quite difficult to understand. And the basic institutional design is not very difficult to understand, like any other constitution. The Indian constitution lays down a procedure for choosing persons to govern the country. It defines who will have how much power, whether the executive body, whether the legislative, whether the judiciary, whether the state government, whether the central government. So it defines who will have how much power to take which decisions also. And it puts the limits to what the government can do by providing some rights to the citizens that cannot be violated. The remaining three chapters, which we are going to study in the next classes, that's about actually the three aspects of the working of Indian Constitution, which we are going to learn in coming classes. So we shall look at some key constitutional provisions in each chapter, dear students, and how understand and how they work in democratic politics. But this text will not cover all the salient features of the institutional design in the Indian Constitution. So some other aspects will be covered so in the next year, which we are going to learn in the coming academic year. I hope, dear students, you all of you understood. And even if you are not understanding any concept of this chapter, so please, I always requesting you, feel free to call and then get the information. And you will so try to understand by reading the textbook. So even though, so please, it's my request to clear your doubt and go through the proper studies. Thank you. Have a nice day.